That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Hey folks, welcome to another podcast from the Zebra Lounge with Mike DePilla and Andrew Seidler. I'm Mike McGuire. Once again, we have the distinct pleasure of talking about the Chicago Cubs here on this day. Boys, it's not looking good right now. What can you say about a team that gets swept by the Nationals and fucking almost beats the New York Mets? Wins the series, almost sweeps them.
Nightmare, just my nightmare anyway. I can't even talk about it. You guys.
But you can say Dusty's job is safe.
With D-Lee's injury, Paul Sullivan wrote a great article about that. Is his job safe for the rest of the year and possibly beyond?
I think it was safe that day when they were on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, and the Mets scored 12 runs in one inning on 2 grand slams. I think that was the day that I figured, boy, his job is safe, because here's the national media covering. You got the whole country watching this team completely melt down. And obviously it wasn't Dusty's fault because he wasn't giving the horses.
I remember that day. It was the day I learned how to tie a noose. Good time. Dusty with his I didn't get the horses crap's getting old too. Because, I mean, people figure it out, with a lot of problems. And the Cubs, as soon as somebody gets a paper cut, it seems like everything's all over. And it's getting old.
Yeah, but can you blame Dusty for that, though? I mean, I don't think he's the best manager, but I think his job is safe in that sense. So he's just not got talent to win games right now.
I couldn't agree more.
So I think he's safe.
But you can't fire a guy with all the injuries you have right now. I mean, you got to give him one more chance. Unfortunately, it's almost an unfair evaluation period for him, but you still might piss some people off. I wouldn't mind seeing him back, especially if you give him the veteran leadership to go after him.
I'm waiting for people to start pointing at Hendry a little more, though. I mean, basically, when you talk about injuries ravaging your team, when you spend that much money and you're depending on this many young guys, yeah, injuries play into it, but a lot of teams have injuries. The Minnesota Twins have had a ton of injuries.
Yep.
That team's playing great because they're plugging in guys from their system, and the Cubs just don't have that, and they're just counting on too many guys. We should have learned a lesson by now, but we can't count on Kerry Wood. We
No doubt.
can't count on Mark Pryor.
And
I'm not saying we can't eventually count on Mark Pryor. Wood done, but it's
I'll tell you
crazy.
another thing. It's driving me nuts, too. I'm tired of hearing about Sean Marshall.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sean
Right,
Marshall this, Sean Marshall that.
Marginal
He's like the
starter.
rich man's Rich Hill. He sits out there and he throws 88 miles an hour with a big curve, which has been figured out a lot in the past in Major League Baseball. And it's like, I think at his best, he has a chance to be a pretty good Major League pitcher. But when you're spending $100 million a year,
you can get better.
Pretty good is not good enough. It's time for great. Open for better for the Cubs 2007. I'm Mike McGuire, Mike DePilla and Andrew Seidler, signing off. Take care.